A staple of any good arcade includes a 2p coin machine. This is where you continually put coins in, where you hope to get even more coins back, but then sometimes there is prizes on top. Now today we are taking that concept and we are going to be 100% in this game, Raccoin. Now it is a roguelite game where there is different characters, different runs you have to do in order to get all the objectives, and in this video we will be doing 100% of it, which took a very long time. So please subscribe if you want to see more. Now the game starts off showing you the first bit of the tutorial, which is being the owner, and there is different characters in this game which all do different things and unlock different things, which we will go into. Now the basic premise of this game is to basically be a 2p machine, like we were saying. You can put the coins in even on the left or the right, and you have to get this quota in the middle. Very much like Biologist, there is rounds that you have to get to, and in a normal game you have to get to 15 rounds. This is completing a run or not completing it in itself. Now these things called coins, which all do different things, and we will get into specific ones later, but for instance this explosion one, when we put it in and we press spacebar, which is actually the exchange one, then it blows up and gets you more points, which is exactly what you want to see. Now there's also these things called chips, which are basically like perks, and these sit on the left side. You usually get 5 to start and can get 6 in different situations, but these are very important later, and you buy these all with tickets which are in the top right, which you get every single coin drops, but obviously perks can manipulate that and give you more. Now there's this other perk system as well, and when you beat specific rounds and when you get farther, you get these special things that are only in these certain situations, and these are like super boosts in the end, and that will be important later. Not only that, there is also a combo system in this game where if you get a certain amount of combos, it's 8 to get 1 on the graph, but then if you get 24 or over that, you get to spin a wheel. Now there's 2 wheels. One is like not as good, you get a couple of coins from it, and the second one is like a bonus wheel, which you can get big towers, which you've just seen. Now going into the different rounds, this is the cards that you can pick. Obviously there's loads of difficulties because it's like Biologist in that way, and we will do that in the future, but for now the game is basically just understanding how the concept works. Now at the start I tried loads of different methods in order to actually get points. I tried to kind of go for more wheel spins and more combos, and even get some of the second wheels which dropped this big ball down. Now these big balls have special combos in them, and you can basically use these in game for a limited time. They're just a one-time use thing, but they will be very important in different games. And also, like we were saying with the exchange thing, you get a certain amount of exchanges per game where you can get more coins to put in, and you start with 20, but this wasn't exactly enough for us, and we actually lost our first run, but that did give us our first achievement, being that we lost a run, and obviously that is the first one everyone I think is going to get. Now we played in loads of different levels, and we were trying to understand how the game worked, different perks, different systems, different wheel combos, but yeah, it wasn't exactly going well, I think it's safe to say. Now we were always unlocking things, and this will be important later. There's so many coins, so many chips, so many prizes that you actually have to unlock, but I think the best way to start is talking about basic strategy. Now I learned a lot of strategies in this game, but I think this one is the best way to start and actually learn. Between the rounds of 1 to 3 or 4, I would recommend not really buying anything with your tickets, and the only thing you should buy is actually something called ticket warp, or stuff that focuses on tickets. Now ticket warp is something that gives you extra tickets per coin that you drop, but these tickets are obviously what you get to buy things, so I think it is very important that you stack up on that early, because it is quite easy to beat the first couple of rounds without any real boosts. Now there's other things I would probably get at the start, including money bag, which gives you more coins. That could be quite nice, and other things that just get tickets, mostly common prizes. That is absolutely fine. Now when you get into about round 5 to 6 or even 7 if you're pushing it, I think this is when you really need to focus on low level score rates. Now what score rate is, it's basically like mult if anyone's played Biologist, and it's the multiplication that you get per coin that goes down, i.e. if a coin's worth 1 and you have a mult of 3, then that coin is worth 3, something like that, and you need to multiply it up. Now there's a lot of common ones that are actually really good for this, including this book where you can get different things. There's score rate you can get per gadget you have, there's score rate that you can get for having bad coins. Basically you just need to do a lot, so if you have a lot of coins, that could be a really good method with one of these combos to get a lot of score rate up, and this is what you need to focus on 5 and 7 to get that level up. And I think this is for basic strategy the only things you really need to know now, but I will say a few perks will come in specifically later. Now I will say a big favorite of mine as well is this one here, because I do think this is one of the most overpowered early and cheaper perks that you're gonna get. Now basically this allows you to kind of focus on one side, left, right or center, and multiply that score rate up and up by each coin that is put in. So that is something that I would also recommend, mostly the easy stuff you need to know. Now getting into the actual game, first of all we pick the first character, which is Manager. A pretty simple character, he doesn't do too much, he just gives you extra tickets. tickets. Now you can pick many different slot cards throughout this game, and I decided that this silver card was actually the one I used for nearly all of it. It actually gives you more silver coins at the start than gold coins, gives you a bit more conversion rate, and that actually got us yet another achievement, getting silver coins starting in your setup. I think it's around 15, so that was really good to get easily, and if you want that, that's the easiest way to get it. Now, something else I haven't really explained very well is the clip conversion that you will see in the corner. In order to put the coins on this clip, you even have to go long ways or deeper so you can put multiple of the same ones on it, and we decided to keep extending it longer so we could put multiple coins on it. When we did this, it actually gave us an achievement, which was to extend it to the fully maxed area, which is 6 different ones, I think it is. And we also got an achievement getting 777 at the start of a coin. But this I can't really find for you. It's one of the coins that dropped, ended up being worth a lot because we got that score right and that multiplication up, and also used some different coins out there as well. Oh, and yeah, please subscribe for any more of this content. Thank you. Now, we were starting to figure out the game quite a lot and actually doing really well with the conversion rate of getting loads of silver coins in there, which was obviously giving us more points. Now, this helped us keep stacking the score up, and we kept getting more and more, and as you can see in the corner, this was sort of the setup we were going for. Some things that can do with score rate, but as you see, the silver bracelet actually gets you a lot of conversion rate, gets you up to 40, which means that you're going to see more silver coins than bronze coins, which gives you more points. With the combination of this and trying to do this on the manager, we actually completed our first run and won our first run, which obviously is another achievement, and this didn't take me too long to do. I'd say a couple of hours playing, if that, and at the start you get a lot of things unlocked with it: new cards, new coins, everything we needed, and we even got some progress on that milestone curve, which also will come into play a lot later, but right now that doesn't really matter too much. Now, we kept doing funky things and we were getting quite far, but we ended up fading further on because as soon as you get past rank 15, you can keep continuing as much as you want. Now, as you can see, the difficulty meter is a little bit like Blackcho in terms of the different card decks that you can pick. In this, you have to also get all of them as well, and as you can see, because we completed the first one, we unlocked the crispy set, which is the next sort of ticket one, and there's obviously a lot more to do. Now, this was the first day of playing. We had already decent amount of progress because every prize, every coin matters in terms of the progression of the game, and obviously bad coins as well is a big thing that we haven't really spoken about, but there's a lots of little details to this game which I don't think are really too interesting because a lot of it you just get from playing the game normally. Now, we were getting loads of different combos here, and as you can see here, there's loads of different blue coins. This came because I duplicated them in certain different ways, and there's loads of different ways you can make coins good, and some coins are relevant, some coins are not helpful, but this helped us complete yet another run on the manager, which was helping us get the points up. Now, at the start, the reason why I did this is because I, for some reason, thought if I just tried to get all the coins on the manager first before moving on to a level, that was going to be the best productive one. But then eventually I realized that actually I should just play with the other characters and then get through them all first, then try and go back and get the coins that haven't, because naturally you're going to get a lot of them just by playing the game. And as you can see here with the manager, this is the coins that we got. We got most of them, I would say, from the first start. A few prizes that we still need to get. A lot of them are unlocked by doing other things with different characters. Now, this is where we first got to play with the Biologist, who is probably one of the weaker characters in the game, but I didn't find him that difficult. I actually think he's okay. Now, he sort of introduced his different setup where every single time you press exchange, which obviously gives you more coins to put down with the tickets you spend, he gives you a different animal. Now, loads of animals do different things, but here you can see there's a pink bunny, and the pink bunnies basically duplicate each other when they jump onto each other. However, if you get a wolf, which is here, he will hunt them down and basically kill every single one of them coins, and when he does, he becomes more powerful and gets the points on top of him, but it does mean you delete coins on it. Now, we also figured out that this prize here, the astronaut prize, was really good, and it sometimes is such a lifesaver in runs when you're not got the best combo. Now, what this does is it puts it down, and you actually have to discard 3 more prizes. It will even drop coins down or suck them up. Now, this is important for coins that we need to get later in the game and achievements, but also just important just generally if you need that sort of boost. And sometimes when you get the balls which have prizes in them, if you're just discarding all of them, as soon as they go into the thing, they will count and it will stack and stack and stack over the top. Although I do think they have patched it out a little bit now. And this is where I wanted to get into one of the most overpowered chips you're going to see in this game, which I would recommend picking up nearly 9 times out of 10. And it's this one here called Flu Planet. Now, I'm not really sure what Flu Planet does exactly, but what I can say from practice is that when them balls drop, which we were saying with the prizes inside, when you get them in the wheels, which is actually quite common, sometimes you don't want it and it's supposed to be a rare one, but you get it all the time and it's actually really annoying sometimes. What it does is it turns every single one around it, every single coin around it where it's landed, into animal or plant coins. coins. And the animal coins can work in different ways, but this is really good because like we said, they can multiply, they can help each other. As you can see, different animals are very overpowered, and what they do is they all work with each other, so you can get really good combos where you fertilize the entire ground with loads of like mud, and then you can get sort of plants that work with the fertilizer. One of them is a corn coin that is really successful at this because it turns all these plot holes out, and then you can get loads of points. And I think this is a real good combo later in the game to do it. So using this insanely overpowered thing, especially with the biologist who gets more and more animals, so that's even more connections you can have. We completed the game with the animal and unlocked a lot of things from it. Now next we've got the chemist, who we unlocked because we completed that, and the chemist added a new system in the game, which is actually like power-ups for the coins that you get. Now we've spoken about how the coins are really overpowered and how stacking them can be a real good way of just doing things that are really successful, such as like duplicating coins. But these power-ups, I'm gonna say I didn't use them too much. They are good, some of them will come very important later, but some of them just, you know, give you duplicates of coins or make your coin worth more money, or it just does good effects. There's a lot of these stuff that happen, but you can use it very well with this character specifically, which is why they introduced it. And you can duplicate things such as this big explosion coin, which you duplicate, and then when certain things go right, you can obviously explode, and it does really well to get loads of points on the board. But it does mean it's a bit of a mess, and you are looking for a bit of a luck depending on the coins you get, but it's certainly a decent-ish method to work. And yeah, look, in this run that we had, we did really well. This was only my second or third run with this character, and I think we ended up getting to the end, so that was all good. Now this actually helped us get yet another achievement, which was put 10,000 coins into the machine. Now I don't really know how I got this so early because it's a rare one, but I think it was because of the methods we were just talking about. Now next we're going to move on to the trader character, who's the fourth character you unlock. This guy is by far the most overpowered character you're ever going to see in this game, and he is so vital to get into late runs, and it is because he has one thing, nothing else, one thing in his disposal, and it's something called the Berserker coin prize. Now he's the only one that gets this prize, I'm pretty sure, with the Berserker. And now this prize is the most overpowered thing in the world, because how it works is when you use it, it gives you a 50% chance of it being a guaranteed win, where it gives you all the money you need to get to that jackpot and you move on to the next level, or it puts bad coins in. But if you keep stacking the game and keep getting more prizes, now this prize will just work more than not, and you're taking a 50-50 odds, you're always going to take that. This meant the trader at the start was the easiest thing in the world. And actually with the trader, we also did another achievement where we combined a lot of things together and got a coin that was worth over 3 million, which gave us the achievement get 1 million value in just one coin. Now next is the astronomer. I don't really like this character. What he does is he turns a lot of the coins into astro coins, which they kind of jump around and duplicate things, and they are pretty good, but they're not as successful. But what he did introduce was these stickers, as you can see on the left and the right. Now what these stickers do is when you drop down coins, they even give you some sort of objective, like bronze coins turned into silver coins, or this coin is worth more value. And that is a very important part of the game, but you only really get it in the early rounds, but it can easily let you stack. Now as you can see, all the coins are cool with their astro coins, but we were getting big combos straight away. This did not take long at all, even though I didn't use this character too much. Now actually, by stacking all the coins that we needed in this situation, we were able to finish this quite easily and actually just get over the line with the new things. And we actually got all the stickers in this one game. There's 7 stickers. I think we got them all throughout the rounds because you have to get 2 per round. I'm not really going to go on about that one. It's not that interesting. There's 7 stickers. Yet again, you get it from just playing, which is another achievement we will take. Now the last character we needed though was the Big Eater, which we obviously unlocked for completing the astronomer. This guy introduced a cooking element into the game. You put this pot down in the thing and you can cook chickens and soup, and it basically cooks certain different recipes into being a better coin. This is not really too hard. There's a few coins you need to unlock for doing this, but I mean, you can just look up the recipes. They are pretty simple, nothing too hard. He gets them quite commonly. And ultimately, if you want to do well with this character, I would just say cook a lot of coins and just duplicate a lot, but it's basically the same thing. And as you can see with the method that we used, with a lot of score rate, a lot of the same things, it's not really too different. Beating the first round with all the characters doesn't take too much strategizing, and after beating him, we got an achievement as win a run with every single character. Now after we've completed every run, you're probably thinking, what else is there to do? Now in this game, there's a lot of achievements you get for progression, but there's also a lot of achievements you get for gimmicks, certain things you need to do in certain ways, and you have to play play for that to happen, which was always a big divide of what I should go for. Now, luckily, I decided to just go for a little bit of progression early and try and win some runs on the different tickets, because like we said, there's many tickets you have to go up the different rounds to get to that golden ticket, which will be an achievement in the end. But actually, something we realized is that if you win on the manager and you get to the next ticket, for instance, it counts for all of them, which meant it was going to be so much easier because I just needed to get to the golden ticket on one of them and then be fine. And after doing the first couple, these weren't too hard. Some of them make the value go up, so you have to get more and more to get over 2 mil sometimes to win. Some of them made it so you get less clips. Sometimes it made you couldn't buy anything in the shop, but we kept going up with this same sort of method. As you can see, it's basically the same ones I've been talking about all the time being very successful. Now, something we did as well while doing this was actually get some gimmicks just naturally. Now, one of them, what we were saying, was about them poo coins from earlier that get fertilized and kind of really help you. If you keep duplicating them and you keep playing as a biologist, these usually will just appear by just so many animals hunting other animals and making these a thing. Now, after doing this enough and actually finishing a run, you can see we get an achievement here, which is actually produce 500 of these coins, which I didn't really go for. It happened, but you're probably thinking, wait, there's another achievement you got there as well, and we did. It was shake the machine 100 times, which isn't too interesting. It's basically when the game ends, you shake the machine, or there's different perks that allow you to shake it, and we got both of them at the same time. But this was in the idea of trying to get that progression to happen. Now, although I was already trying things and trying different chips and coins all the time, I was getting the same ones that I saw that were really good, like Flu Planet, like the book, the one that we spoke about, and that folding paper. These ones were always coming in the runs. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of wheel spins in this go, and you're probably thinking, well, why is that happening? Now, not only are obviously the combos going up on the left, which is very helpful, and that helps you get these in the first place, we are actually also using stuff like the roulette coin, which is a coin that you get, and every time it scores, it spins its own wheel, which is very successful. Now, this was helping us get a lot of points, like we just saw, and get a lot of progression, which will come in point later, because you have to get basically this total score for the milestone. We actually got the final card we needed, which doesn't do anything for us, but is also good to have, because that's through the progression. And then we got to the milestones that we were talking about. There's so many to get. We have to get this amount of collected points over the game, and we did really good job with that great run. We just had to get a good progress on that, but that will obviously be happening later. But we were getting nearly every coin on the first couple ones we did. Like I said, most of the coins come from just buying in the shop, so they are pretty easy. Now, so far, I would say that a lot of the achievements we've got haven't been too difficult, but there was some ones that I was starting to look at in the future that I was worried about. Now, in terms of ones that I was worried about, there's a lot of gimmicks, but I knew I'd get to them eventually, and there's a lot of 100% as well. But there was one that was get all of the keychains in a single run, which I was still yet to do and was kind of figuring out how to do at the time. And another one was reach 10,000 combo. Now, as you can see in some of the big ones I've had, I've reached a combo of 300, 400, 500, but we're not getting to 10,000. And at the time, I think my record was about 1,000, which I don't even know where it came from. But like we just mentioned, that roulette coin came in big. Now, we kept stacking this roulette coin over and over and over again. And when we get 5, 6, 7, and then you could just duplicate it over and over again with different sort of prizes. Now, this didn't necessarily always help. It sometimes gave us bad coins. It sometimes didn't work. But what a lot of the time it did is it gave us even a ball that we could put down. With the planet flu, obviously exploded and made loads of animal coins, or it gave us different methods of getting more points, such as towers. It could make its own one in that, and it was always an even split of odds, which made it really good to use it. Now, doing this a lot actually got us to 2.4, which was actually one of the highest we got to, the second highest at the time, and then we actually got all the bad coins, which is another achievement we succeeded in. As you can see, we stacked everything on top of each other, consistent roulette wings over and over and over again, and there was no time for the game to ruin the combo. It happened so quickly. We got to 11, 12,000 in such a short time, and this ends up giving us a big achievement, which I didn't know was possible just hours before, which was a big thing that we got. But I would recommend this roulette coin, by the way. This coin is genuinely one of the most overpowered ones in the game, and we kept going. This was a really good run. This was one of our best runs by far at this moment, and we got to way past the 23, 24, 25 rounds and kept going up and up and up. And obviously using the berserker coin helps. Now, something we also did in this run is this was our last prize we needed to use. This duplicator here, we duplicated this coin, and then when the run ended, we actually completed all the prizes. Yet again, you unlock more when you get all the characters, but we had all the 6 characters, and these are the prizes and what they look like overall. Now, if you want ones I think are good, I think the ice badge is decent. It makes everything slippy for a little bit. This tiger here is very good because you can put a coin on it and it will duplicate that coin over time, so sometimes that will come important like later. And other ones are good like the Berserker, which we spoke about, the Mask Doll. These ones are very successful, but I don't think the prizes are too important when you get so many throughout a game. Now it's time that we got into the specific achievements you need to get, and we needed to aim for these sort of gimmicky ones. Now the first one we wanted to get is one called Pylon, which should actually have coins that are just gold and silver in the entirety of a coin tower. Now a coin tower is the things that we've been seeing throughout it, the towers of coins like it says on the tin, which you get from them wheel spins which are randomly generated, which can obviously help push everything down. Now so far I am about 20 hours into the game and we haven't seen any gold coins, so how do you get them? Now something we were talking about earlier with conversion rate when you pick the silver ticket is it puts your conversion rate up to 25%. Now if your conversion rate is higher like we were mentioning, bronze coins turns into silver, but if you actually get it over 100% it goes from silver to gold, which is actually a rare little gimmick you need. Now the way that you get it is you have to use this chip here, the silver bracelet, which gives you a 40% conversion rate when done fully, and that's basically by putting coins in there, which is already a good start. But then when you pick this silver bean in there as well, it gives you a potential of 25% when your conversion clip is empty, so you've got to get all them coins out. Now this puts it obviously up to 90%, not quite the 100, so how do you get it over to 100? Now I didn't really know this for a while, but then I figured it out, and it's this coin here, the Clover coin, which gives you 3% conversion rate per each one. This is where we finally used different methods to get more and more of these conversion rate up and more of these coins to appear. And as you can see, this finally put the conversion rate up to about 116% for a moment before them green coins come out, which gave us gold coins. We did this and then we got lucky with the wheel spin that gave us a big tower, and you can see every coin in it is gold or silver, which is really hard to get. This achievement is not easy to get. You have to signal for it in a certain way, and we got the achievement from completing the round, which yet again we did, which was a very hard gimmicky achievement to get. Now next we had to get the next gimmick one, which is bunny coin, a really rare one to get. Now how you do this is you get bunnies from the biologist that obviously, like we said earlier, the wolf hunts them and makes them, basically deletes them, but you need to do this with one that you return. Now every time I was doing this I was putting return things on the bunnies, I was putting them in, and then they were still getting eaten. I didn't understand how it worked, but however there is this perk that you can get that not really many people talk about. It's this sort of leprechaun hat, and the leprechaun hat means that when return animals eat other return animals, it will come back to you. So knowing this, you have to put a return on a wolf, not only a bunny, and then as soon as this wolf eats the bunny over and over and over again, they will both come back into the conversion clip. This allows you to actually complete the challenge. I didn't know this, it took me so long to figure out, and in this run that we had where we were doing really well with the biologist yet again, we ended up just putting this wolf in there, and you can see it kept coming back into the conversion clip over and over and over again, and we duplicated a lot of them. I would recommend just duplicating a lot of them, getting all of them in there, because only one coin needs to be eaten 10 times, which is quite possible when you've got more and more. Now this ended the run and we ended up completing this achievement, but yeah, I would recommend getting this chip, which is actually not too common, but if you see it, I would get it to complete this achievement. I don't think it's possible if not, because it doesn't work. Now with that being done, we went back to doing some of the progress in terms of the tickets. Now we completed, I think this was the Moo ticket in this moment, which actually got us to the golden ticket, which is obviously the last ticket for all of them, and we need to win with all of them later, which we will do. It's a big part of the game, basically limits you completely. There's like blockades up, it's really hard to do, but we had to finish one gimmick before we did all that, and it was the ET gimmick. This is another one which requires a specific chip which I just didn't know about. You have to get this alien thing which we were talking about earlier, which is really overpowered, and then you have to find this alien translator, which is a really rare chip and only works with the astronomer as well, I should say. Eventually, over and over and over again, with about 500, you get this one coin in the corner, which is really rare, and I didn't have it at the time. But then after doing it more and more and getting further on in the game, which we were like really high level, this was a long run, I was just waiting to get it, we finally got the alien coin. It's actually really rare to get. It's like 1 in 30 chance with the alien dropping the coins, which only happens 1 every 2 times. Now this was the last of the real gimmicky achievements, I would say. Most of the achievements left are progression achievements and achievements that you get from playing long runs, so either long runs or long progression that we needed to get to 100%. And I'm glad that these gimmicks are over, because they were taken away from actually progressing. Now my first one that I wanted to complete was finishing all the coins, because we were only 1 off. We'd got all the other coins, we'd grinded for it, and the one coin we were missing was this weird shaped coin here, which actually ends up being a diamond coin. Now the way to get the diamond coin in this game game is that you have to get these rare ore coins, which I think is only with the chemist, if I believe. He's the only guy that has it. And what you have to do is you have to blow them up, and you have a 1 in 4 chance of getting diamond, but I actually think it's less than that because it's rarer than the other ones. Now, when I talk about the method of getting this coin itself must have taken me super long, and I genuinely almost quit the whole run because of this coin itself. What we were doing was we were getting loads of explosive coins, we were putting loads of stuff down, so it made it more likely that this ore coin would appear, and then we were using the tiger, which you mentioned earlier, putting explosives on it and coins on it, which meant that every 30 times I put coins down, it would be the coins that we needed. Now, as you can see, we got the diamond coin by doing this. It didn't take too long, it blew up, we got the odds, and it worked because I kept using this method of multiple coins over and over again. Now, I was really happy with this, and I completed this run in great ways. You know, the diamond coin's loving its life. I actually got another coin. There's 2 coins in this run, so you're thinking, oh, you've done all the coins then. However, when the game finished and I decided to go over to see if I got the achievement, I hadn't. And then I went over to the thing and I didn't have it on the discovered, and it said I still hadn't found the diamond coin, which was really weird. Now, I also found this coin again, and I was so confused because yet again it didn't give me the achievement, and actually yet again I found it after this, which you can see my reactions live where I was not very happy. Okay, so I've got it again. This is another day that I've got it. It's right there. We can all see this. We can all see that this coin is right there, right? Please just give me the award, please. Oh no, it's there. It's still in the hurricane. Look at that. I mean, I don't know what to say. The game is broke. I don't know if we're gonna. I'll just do the rest, I guess, and hope that. I mean, I don't know. I've done it. Everyone can see I've done it. Like, that's the whole 3 achievements broken because I can't get it, but I've literally done it. I don't know what to say. Now, all the other coins I'd got hadn't worked like this, and as soon as they were in the bottom and went into the points, they counted. So this was happening 3 or 4 times that I did this and it didn't. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't want to get that down with me too much, although I need that in the future. So I thought I'd just do what I could do right now, and that was finish the golden tickets that we could do with every run and do all the other objectives that we have before we get to that one at the end, because that was stressing me out too much. Now, I would say, as someone who's played Balatro for more hours, way more hours than I played this game, that game is so much more harder in getting lucky runs. I think every prize or every coin and every chip is somewhat irrelevant in this game and can help you, although some of them are a bit pointless. Now, using all the combinations that we were talking about earlier, we were completing stuff very quickly, and we did the first golden ticket with the manager quite early. The second one was the Biologist, which I genuinely think was one of the difficult ones. We really couldn't get things going. It really is up and down. Like we said before, we did the method with the corn coin, which creates these big cornfields going up. This did take a bit of time, but as you can see, it went up really quickly, and that completed our second one out of 6, getting our golden ticket in it. Now, the third guy was the chemist. Now, the chemist, at the same time, I was still trying to get the diamond coin, but it wasn't really working. I did get it a few times again, but it didn't count. And this one is a little bit more, I'd say, basic and straightforward. You just need good chips and just get loads of good combos. I don't really have much to say about this. We did this pretty easily. Now, next is the trader. We don't really need to go through the trader. We all know how overpowered that berserker perk is. If you're struggling, just get loads of them and just wait for them to come in the store, and then you press them and I'll look the year into the next round. But ultimately, we had such a good run in this one. This one went on for ages. This is one of our longest runs that we had in a while, so that made it 4 out of 6. Then we went on to the astronomer, which I think was actually the hardest one out of all of them. I just don't really like this character. I don't know what it is about it. It's just so difficult to really get any combos, and in the end you can see me even using quite generic chips, not like specific ones for him, but we did get there in the end, and it did take a while, which made us get 5 out of 6. Now, the last one's the big eater. You can really focus on cooking for him, but what I did is I got the trees out and I basically just went for roulette coins, which we were saying with the consistent wheel spins, and I was doing that quite a lot over and over again, and we eventually got it. I don't think this one took me that hard and that long to get, so that ended up making us complete 6 out of 6 and getting the golden ticket, which is the highest difficulty. I didn't win most of them on all of the difficulties, it's just that last one, so I will take it overall. That gives us another achievement. Now, conveniently, I have been avoiding one big achievement, which I do think is going to be a bit of a pain to get, and that is this achievement here, the keychain collector. Now, we've gone through keychains. These are the sort of perks you get at the end of rounds, which come up at specific times, and some of them are good, some of them are not amazing. I would recommend, if you want to know my good ones, I think this flower is pretty good because it gives you unlimited exchanges if you have a lot of tickets. I also think this blowfish is good because it makes the range really, really big for a lot of the drops you want to get. But everything else is really give or get. There's stuff that makes your clip bigger where you can get more perks or more prizes. Stuff like that is quite helpful for specific runs, but it's not really too important. Now, you might be thinking, how do you get all 20 in a run? And it's basically doing an endless run, having a run that is so good that you get to round whatever it is, 70, 80, and then you can get all of them, which is going to take a lot of time and be a pain. Now, I obviously use the trader. I think he's incredible. The berserker thing, every time you get into any sort of situation, you can use the berserker to get further. Now, we were doing this over and over and over again. This round that I did went to round 50, I can't remember, 60. It was very long, and we had all of the best perks that you can see. I was respinning that wheel and respinning the store over and over and over again to get every single thing we needed. So at that point, when you get to around like 30, you've basically got what you need to keep going further and further. Now, I think they're going to patch this berserker prize. I think they should. It's a bit of a game breaker and it doesn't make any sense how it could just finish the game for you, finish the round just 50-50. And obviously, sometimes I was getting really lucky, 5 or 6 in a row, and they were going through. We did this for so long. This run is such a long run. I don't even want to explain to you how long it is. It's about 2 hours long, I think it was overall. But doing this over and over again, all the coins, we were getting up our points. And this eventually allowed us to get all 20 of them, in which I was in round 61. And this was my reaction to it live. Surely this is done. If our calculations are correct, this should be done. I'm just going to, because it's never going to end. Let's go. We got both of the achievements because the milestones completed as well. Honestly, that was a long 2-hour duration. It wasn't exactly quick, but oh my god, that berserker is overpowered. Let's go. Oh, and yeah, obviously because it was such a long run, you actually got all of the milestones as well. This is an achievement a lot of people have got because of this method, but yeah, if you just have a really long run, the milestone is pretty easy to get, and we got that as well, meaning that we are getting closer and closer to the end. We just needed that 100% on all the chips and all of the things. Now, I haven't really gone through the chips, but I was actually one off at this period, and you're probably thinking, what is that chip? Is this a really complicated one like the diamond coin? No, it was literally just this raccoon here, which I was funny enough recording in this moment to find it, but I had seen this raccoon loads and loads and loads and thought I picked it and just didn't realize the outline was that. But eventually we picked it, we got the achievement, and I was very happy that was done. I didn't realize it was that easy to get. Now, it's literally just about getting that diamond coin, but I figured out a method by myself. Now, of course, to complete the game, we just needed that one annoying diamond coin that had eluded us the entire time. Now, I looked on the Reddit and there was nothing there. I even looked on guides on Steam and no one was really having this problem, and everyone was just saying that they got the diamond coin normally, which I just didn't get. Now, I tried a method that I've never seen anyone speak about. I just did it myself, and it was basically, I thought I had to get the diamond coin in my clip for the game to register it in the side bit over here. Now, the only way that this is going to happen was by a very specific cause of events, which I knew was going to be difficult to happen, and it took a long time. But basically, these events include getting a raw coin, putting a return signal on it, and then blowing it up and hopefully getting a diamond coin. As you remember, if they aren't blown up and they are one of the other ores, they can't then be a diamond ore, so that's basically over, and we had to keep doing this. Now, annoyingly, I don't have the footage, but I had this big period where I kind of gave up. I was so frustrated, I wanted to go to bed and wanted this to be done with. And I had one coin left, which had a return signal on it, and the run was about to come to an end, so I threw it in there and threw an explosion. Now, to my surprise, it was a diamond coin. It came straight back to me because it got blown up and was diamond, and I could not believe it. Now, I still didn't know if this was going to work, but I thought if this doesn't work, the game is glitched. You can see the diamond coin in there. You can see it moving about with the return signal on it, and it's literally been in my clip at this point. I finally got the achievement. It came through that not only I got the 100% of coins, I got the 100% of the entire game, because that was the last thing I was missing, and it came from a solution that I thought for myself, and I was so happy about it. I can't believe that actually worked. That actually fixed it. Oh my god, we've done it. The pain is over. The pain is over. Oh my god. Now, with that being said, that was 100% of Raccoin, which I was very happy to be done. Now, I completed this game in about 40 hours. I think it would be like 25 hours if I weren't trying to get this stupid diamond coin and knew what I was doing. And a lot of the time, it is just that knowledge issue. I think if you knew what you were doing and went into this game with all the achievements in front of you, you would have a better idea. I kind of played it with the flow until I got about 20 hours in and then realized I had to go for them. I think the game is fun. I think genuinely as a roguelike, it's quite easy. I kind of like that, to be honest, but I know a lot of people won't. And it's not the most expensive game, but I don't think it has the most content in the world. But it is a pretty good game. It came out recently. I know a lot of people played the beta, which I never played. This was my first experience, and I kind of enjoyed it. Now, let me know in the comments if you want to see any more 100% and any more videos like this, and I'm willing to do it, especially now I've got a green screen. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.